Parody, a literary or musical work in which the style of an author is closely imitated for comic effect or in ridicule.
Satire is a storytelling device holding up human vices and follies to ridicule or mock.
All right, I want to tell you what this assignment is not. It's not an excuse to mock people or make fun of other cultures or make fun of other things. I know that when you look at the definition of satire, it includes the word mock. And when you look at the definition of parody, it includes the word ridicule. But I'm not out to mock or ridicule anyone else. I'm looking for something a little different here. And I'm going to pause and hit you with a word. After reading the definition of authenticity, I want to tell you a little story. I didn't think I had cultural authenticity for a long time in my life. I was a white kid from a small town in Idaho. Caucasian is the fancy way to say that. And I came and I moved to Arizona to a town, an area that was all Hispanic. And I would go to my friends' houses and they had real culture, man. They spoke foreign languages. They made delicious food that I didn't know how to cook. And I just thought, hey man, I'm boring. I don't have a culture. What I didn't realize is I did actually have a very interesting culture. It was different than that of my friends. And due to conformity, I wanted to conform and have their culture. And I'm bringing all this up right now because a good, authentic parody really pulls on the things that you know, that you're comfortable with. So if I was going to use my experiences in my life to talk and switch around the words of another song or another movie, that's what's going to be authentic. So, I grew up, I was born in the small town in Idaho. My dad rode the rodeo. He tamed wild horses. I moved to an all-Hispanic neighborhood. I knew second and third generation Bloods and Crips and all the serious gang stuff, and then to top it all off and to add strangeness to my own cultural identity, I was very nerdy. I liked things like Star Trek and Star Wars and reading books, and so my own personal cultural touchstones were things that were kind of very different than each other. I had this cowboy part of me, I had this gangster part of me, I had this book nerd part of me, and all of those things shaped who I was, and that is the authenticity that I bring to my teaching when I tell people stories, to any sort of parody that I make. If I'm going to write a parody, I have to write about things that I know and that are funny. I could mock all sorts of people that have traits and ways and styles that I don't fully understand, and you might even get people to laugh at those things. But it's not authentic, and it's kind of cheap parody. Now, Weird Al, he gets away with a lot of this, making fun of all sorts of different things, usually because he's authentic. He makes fun of things, and he comes from his own strange perspective. And so he gets to hit on topics that a lot of other people probably wouldn't. But he's been at it for like 30 years. So everybody kind of gives him a break, and they know that he's not being malicious when he picks a song and he uses it to make a parody. Now, I picked the T.I. song, and it has a few things that's kind of materialistic, in my opinion, that aren't me. And then the first song, the Camille Air song, you notice it was only 30 seconds long because there are things on there that are just inappropriate for school. So choosing the right song to parody, first of all, it has to be appropriate for school. And second of all, it has to be something that you can culturally talk about. We're not really making fun of whosever song you pick. You are taking it and you're twisting it around to say something funny about a topic that you know a lot about. That's interesting parody. We're not making fun of Michael Jackson if we do a Michael Jackson parody song. We're making fun of the things that we know and that we're comfortable with, and we're switching the words around because it's clever and it's funny.